A shower on Earth is a machine built around gravity. Water falls. Soap runs downward. Steam rises. Dirty water disappears into a drain, because the planet itself does most of the work. The plumbing gets the credit. Gravity carries the burden. In orbit, that system breaks immediately.
Water does not fall, it floats. It sticks to skin, walls, cameras, laptops, air vents, and anything else within reach. A normal shower inside a spacecraft would turn a hygiene routine into a vehicle hazard. The crew would spend less time washing and more time chasing tiny spheres of water around the cabin, like a very expensive game of panic billiards. That is the basic problem. Astronauts can clean themselves in space. They do it every day. But they do it through controlled water use, careful containment, and a system designed around life support. On the International Space Station, hygiene is less like standing under rain and more like maintaining a submarine where every loose droplet is a possible equipment problem. The reason starts with microgravity. The International Space Station is still inside Earth's gravity field. Gravity holds it in orbit. But the station and everything inside it are falling around Earth together. The crew, the tools, the food, and the water all share that motion. That creates the condition people call weightlessness. Inside that environment, water behaves in ways that feel strange to anyone raised under a showerhead. Surface tension becomes dominant. Instead of pouring down the body, water forms blobs. Those blobs cling to skin. They stretch into films. They attach to hair. They float away when disturbed. A splash on Earth becomes a mobile threat in orbit. The first issue is breathing. Loose water can drift into an astronaut's face. It can cover the nose and mouth. That sounds minor until the cabin fan pushes the water into a sheet against the skin. In space, a person can drown in a blob of water if it covers the airways long enough. The danger is rare, but the physics is real. Water loses its manners when gravity leaves the room. The second issue is electronics. Spacecraft are packed with computers, control panels, sensors, wiring, batteries, cameras, and life support hardware. A floating droplet can enter a vent or settle behind a panel. It can interfere with connectors. It can create corrosion over time. It can trigger faults that become tedious at best and dangerous at worst. A spacecraft gives water very few safe places to go. The third issue is air quality. The station uses forced ventilation to move air. Without fans, exhaled carbon dioxide could build up around a crew member's head. Airflow keeps the cabin breathable. That airflow also carries loose droplets. A normal shower would release water into the station's internal weather system, and that weather system already has a full-time job keeping people alive. Then comes the matter of supply. Every pound launched into orbit costs money, mass, planning, and vehicle capacity. Water is heavy. A normal shower on Earth can use many gallons. That amount would be absurd in orbit. Spaceflight treats water as a managed resource. It is used, collected, filtered, and reused wherever possible. The station recycles water from humidity, sweat, breath, and urine. That fact has been turned into jokes so many times it deserves a tiny plaque on the wall. But the engineering is serious. The environmental control and life support system takes wastewater and turns it back into usable water. Orbit is a closed habitat. The closer the system gets to recycling everything, the longer crews can operate without constant resupply. A normal shower burns through water too quickly. It also creates too much wastewater in the wrong form. On Earth, dirty water flows into a drain. On the station, there is no simple drain beneath your feet. Any wash system must collect the water, separate it from air, move it into a tank, and keep it out of the cabin. NASA has experimented with shower systems before. Skylab, America's first space station, had a shower. It used a cylindrical enclosure with a curtain, a foot restraint, a pressurized water bottle, and a vacuum system to pull water away. In theory, it solved the problem. In practice, it took a long time to set up, use, and clean. The crew had to vacuum water from the enclosure and towel surfaces dry afterward. That is the sort of victory engineers describe with a straight face while everyone else quietly leaves the meeting. The shower worked, but it consumed crew time. Time in orbit is one of the most expensive things humans manage. If a hygiene system takes too long, creates cleanup work, and risks water escape, the operation starts to look worse than the problem. So, modern astronauts use a simpler method. They clean with rinseless soap, small amounts of water, washcloths, towels, and no rinse shampoo. The process is direct. Wet the cloth, apply soap, wipe the body, use another towel to dry. For hair, astronauts apply no rinse shampoo, massage it through, and towel it out. It sounds primitive. It works. This method keeps water under control. It reduces free-floating droplets. It uses less supply. It keeps the cabin safer. It also fits the actual rhythm of station life, where every object must be managed and every routine must survive contact with physics. Astronauts also rely on airflow and exercise hygiene. Crew members exercise for hours each day to slow bone and muscle loss. That creates sweat. In microgravity, sweat forms beads on the skin instead of dripping downward. It can accumulate in clothing and equipment. Astronauts wipe themselves down after workouts and change garments according to the schedule and mission supply. Laundry is another Earth luxury that disappears in orbit. The ISS has no washing machine. Clothing gets worn, stored, and eventually packed into cargo vehicles for disposal. Some clothing burns up during re-entry with trash aboard departing spacecraft. That gives the phrase dirty laundry a small orbital funeral. One suspects the socks accept their fate with military bearing. The hygiene system also reflects spacecraft design philosophy. A space station has volume limits. Every cubic foot competes with research hardware, storage, sleeping stations, exercise machines, life support racks, tools, food, and emergency equipment. A shower enclosure takes up space. It adds plumbing. It adds pumps, separators, filters, tanks, seals, and maintenance tasks. Every added system becomes another system that can fail. For short missions, wipes and rinseless cleaning make operational sense. For long missions, the question becomes harder. A crew traveling to Mars will spend months in deep space. Hygiene affects health, morale, skin condition, sleep, and crew cohesion. Nobody wants a spacecraft that smells like a locker room sealed inside a metal thermos. Mars missions will likely require better hygiene systems than the ISS uses today. A future shower may use mist instead of flowing water. It may capture droplets with airflow. It may include a sealed stall with suction panels, hydrophobic surfaces, and water recovery equipment. The goal would be controlled contact, fast cleanup, and high recovery. The shower would act less like a bathroom fixture and more like a small life support subsystem. That is the key distinction. On Earth, a shower is plumbing. In space, a shower is fluid dynamics, air management, waste recovery, electrical safety, microbial control, crew psychology, and mass budget wearing the costume of a bathroom. The Moon and Mars change the problem again. On the Moon, gravity exists at about 1/6 of Earth's. On Mars, it is about 3/8. Water will fall there, but more slowly and with different behavior. A shower becomes easier than in orbit, though still constrained by water supply, habitat volume, and recycling. A lunar or Martian shower may look closer to an Earth shower, but it will still operate inside a closed-loop habitat. The drain will no longer be a hole that sends water away. It will be the entrance to a recovery chain. Used water will move through filters, processors, storage, and possibly reuse. Dirt, skin oil, soap residue, hair, and microbes all become engineering inputs. Space settlements will turn bathrooms into resource management stations. Very glamorous. Also true. Astronaut hygiene reveals a larger lesson about spaceflight. Space removes the background systems we take for granted. Gravity, air circulation, drainage, abundant water, and easy maintenance all vanish or become engineered conditions. A shower seems simple because Earth hides the machinery. Orbit exposes it. That is why astronauts can't shower normally. The problem is not cleanliness, it is control. Water must remain contained, air must remain breathable, electronics must remain dry, Supplies must last. Waste must be recovered. Crew time must be protected. A spacecraft is a small country with no rivers, no wells, no drains, and no plumber on the next street. So astronauts wipe down, rinse carefully, towel off, and keep moving. It lacks the majesty of a hot shower after a long day, but it keeps the station alive. In space, that is the standard. Comfort comes second. The vehicle comes first. And somewhere above Earth, a trained astronaut is probably cleaning up with a damp towel, while a multi-billion-dollar station races around the planet. Human greatness has many forms. Sometimes it looks like a rocket launch. Sometimes it looks like keeping one drop of water out of an air vent.